Push it back a little. Because when we, especially when we do these.
Trying to figure this out.
I'm afraid I just don't, they're gone. See, when we put these up, it's going to be really hard to see them. It's too close to us.
That'd be okay, I guess. Can't tell if we're live. I think we are, but I can't tell.
I think we are. We keep getting a person jump on and jump off.
All right.
All right. Happy New Year, everyone. So this is our end of the year live stream. And now we're doing things a little bit differently for 2025 because we started our full-time travel journey with filming and posting to YouTube back in August of 2024. So it was just kind of a little late in the year to do an end of the year live stream for that. So we decided to just kind of lump that into our 2025 live stream. So we're going to be combining the last 16 months of our travels into this video. So without further ado, let's jump right in.
Need some coffee first.
Get your sips. All right. So I guess, first of all, we wanted to kind of just talk about how things went overall. So like, what were your thoughts? Like, how did it go overall, do you think?
It was a big learning experience. I think we had it was a big learning experience. I mean, it's our first time full-time travel, so we made a fair amount of mistakes. We had amazing experiences. We've traveled virtually all over the world. We still have a lot to do, but
those are going to be fun numbers for you to learn about too, by the way, because I've crunched the numbers, but he doesn't know how much we did.
But overall, crazy. You know, it was amazing. So I can't complain. I don't know what else to say. You know, 14 months of full-time travel, you know, it was special.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I totally agree. I think that, you know, the overall experience was extremely positive. We did more in the last 16 months, you know, between 2024 and 2025 than we have in, you know, our entire lives combined, and probably what we would ever be able to do if we were still working our 9-to-5s. I think for me, like Darren said, like the learning curve was huge, like everything from like learning how to pack, which we're still kind of figuring out. We were still sending a bunch of stuff home from countries that we visited. And
sorry.
So, you know, between trying to figure out, you know, how to pack, like we were sending stuff home from countries we visited, you know, to learning how to adjust with like literally living out of our suitcases and jumping from hotel to hotel. For me, the scheduling standpoint as well was a huge learning curve. Like I was trying to emulate other content creators and YouTubers that we really respect. Shout out to Karen, Nate. I love you guys. But let's just put it this way. We're not in our 20s. So trying to emulate a couple that started their travels in their 20s and do kind of the schedules that they were doing was really unrealistic. So needless to say, this next year, we're going to be doing things a little bit differently than we did in 2024 and 2025. And we're excited to see what that looks like in the near future. Yeah. So What did we learn? Well, we learned a ton. I mean, we learned what works for us and what doesn't work for us. And like I said, just kind of having more realistic expectations of what we should be doing in the future. Again, like packing better, I think is like a really big thing. Now, our country has tariffs for basically any import coming in from the rest of the world.
And that goes with if it's our stuff, we ship,
Yes,
things like we ship, things that we bought or we took too much of, but we wanted to send home.
our personal
And our
items.
personal items are now tariffed as they come back in the country. And the cost is excessive. So it's another, hard learning lesson, but it's
Yeah.
something we're gonna, moving forward in 2026, what we have is what we have. And
We're not sending anything back. I
no,
don't care what
no.
it is. We're just gonna have to schlep around extra stuff if that's what it is. Or if we do like another major trek of some sort, like all of our stuff is gonna come with us
Yep.
because that was a huge pain point. When we did Kilimanjaro, we shipped our trekking bags from the US to Austria, and we paid like $1,000 to ship those bags to us. I mean, that was like insane amounts of money just to send our own goods to us. So we're not going to be doing that in the future. So I think that's like a really, really big thing. And again, just learning how to find some balance, I think is a really big thing because we were so focused on just traveling and soaking as much out of every experience that we possibly could that we didn't take a lot of time for ourselves and our own well-being and our
Yeah.
own physical health and frankly mental health as well because when you're a couple that works together and is then spending every second of your day with each other, sometimes you just need a break from the other person.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we didn't have a lot of that. So
And we learn,
we need
yeah.
it.
And we learned that halfway through, I guess, maybe a little, not too late, of course, but what do we learn? So we try to now balance that time out. And whether that's something simple like, you know, one of us goes to the gym, if we have a gym close by or in our accommodations or hotel, wherever we are, somebody goes for an hour by themselves and just hangs out, and then we switch. So at that point, we'll have over 2 hours apart just to give each other some space,
Mhm.
or if we have a big enough apartment or something like that, somebody goes to the other side of the apartment or something, just so we have some space and our own private time and that
Yeah.
kind of thing. Just,
Or the
it's important.
cruises. The
Yeah.
cruises make it really easy for us because the boat is safe. Like we're adults, we're not teenagers, and we can be trusted to be on one side of the boat from, one another, like opposite sides.
Yeah.
And so that gives us a really safe space to have that opportunity too. So, and we are doing a little bit more cruising in the near future, which I'm
Ooh.
super excited about.
Yeah, that's a
So
hint. We'll hint on more of that later. Where we're
we get
just
some teasers for you coming
yeah.
up in just a little bit. So, what do you consider our successes? What do you think some wins were for us?
I think some of the wins uh, were adapting to our daily routine. There was no routine. That's
No.
what here in life and everyday life here back at home, you have a routine. And while we've been traveling abroad or wherever, there is no routine. Every
Mm-mm.
single day is different. And
Yeah.
in that adapting to that new type of lifestyle, I think it was hard. I mean, there's no joke. It's hard, but it's challenging. But I think we did a really good job at adapting to that, and I think that's something that we did really well.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. And I think also figuring out how to look at like our travels as like not just a travel experience because like everything that we're doing, it's stuff that we've been wanting to do. I mean, the whole point of this was to go and travel the world and have all the experiences that we want to have, immersed into different cultures, learn about other people and how they live as much as possible, see as much of the world as possible. Because I mean, we live in a big, beautiful country, but there's this massive world around us. And like we both wanted to experience as much as we possibly could before we're in a position that maybe we can't do those kinds of things. So, like, that's why we've really kind of had this big focus of like bucket list experiences, bucket list travel, but always balancing that and keeping it in mind that this is still a job. Like we've
mhm,
also left our jobs, we sold our house, we sold our cars, like we got rid of everything. And like this is what we're hoping to do for a living in the future. And So keeping in mind that everything that we're doing, it's still a job. And I think that we've done a really nice job of balancing those two things out this past year and trying to also incorporate like not just the things that we want to do, but what we think you guys would want to see as well. Like I think we've
Sure.
done a good job with
Yeah,
that.
and within that, the challenge to be somewhere that you really wanna be, and I'll just give an example. Say we are in Egypt, and you look out our windows, and there's the giant the Great Pyramid of Giza, and
So
and you
cool.
have to not do anything. You have to sit there and work, and we have
That's
to
so
sit there,
hard.
stop, and work, and take days off, and understand that we're in the long haul. We're not there, you know, trying to run through hundreds of things or hundreds of different places in one, vacation, if you want to call it, or one destination where we're seeing everything we can. I'm just giving Egypt as an example. We see everything we can, and we got to remind ourselves that we're in for the long haul. We're not, and we'll come back to Egypt, so
Yeah.
we don't have to see everything. So we don't feel like we're missing out, even if we take a day or two from wherever we are in the world. So
Yeah.
I think that's been another thing to adapt to.
Yeah, and that's been a really big thing for me, like, because I do all the scheduling and the planning and stuff, so just, like, reminding myself that, like, we don't have to get it all in this trip. But that being said, like, we're trying to show you guys kind of like the highlight reel, and so our goal is to show you what we think are kind of like the big draws to these places, including maybe some things that you didn't necessarily think of to check out if you take a trip to those places. So let us know how we're doing with that. Like we want to make sure that, we're hitting the mark for you all too. So, when you're watching our videos, like leave us comments, let us know like if there's something that you would like to see in these videos that maybe we're not presenting to you because we want to make sure we incorporate that into the future.
Yeah.
I think that's a really big thing. So our failures, well, packing
Yeah.
was definitely, I know I'm talking a lot about packing, but I think people that watch YouTube videos, a huge thing for them is how do I pack? Like, how do I pack if I'm taking a 2 week trip or if I'm going to a place that maybe the weather is really variable? And like, so we did not get that right for the most part. Like, there was a lot of missing the mark in terms of like bringing too much of certain things, not bringing enough of certain things. Like I totally messed up the first 3 months that we were gone. I had all this different stuff, but I had like 64, my bag was like 64 pounds. So then we're in Europe and I'm sending all this stuff back. But mind you, Europe in the summer is hot. We were then going to be going to Africa that was cold. It was their winter. And we were also going to some Muslim countries where I needed to be covered. And I had literally had sent all of my stuff back that I could cover myself up with. Like
Mhm.
it was, so then we're in South Africa and I'm having to like find a mall to go find an H&M and go buy myself clothes and just adding more weight to my bag that I, from what
Or
I'd already sent
or
back.
the appropriate clothes in some of the churches.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that too. Yeah. And in Europe, you go to a Catholic church, you have to be covered as a
Yep.
woman. So like, definitely making sure, I think initially I had kind of planned it out right. But then when I sent stuff home, I just had tunnel vision and I sent all the stuff back that I needed. So, that was a really big challenge, I think. So for me, that's like a big goal of this year is just being better, being more intentional with how we're doing that. And also me personally, I think a big failure for me was we overdid it in the beginning. We
Yeah.
did so much and we were packing our days filled with activities and just because when you're traveling, like the average person when they travel, like you have a limited amount of time, of vacation time. So you go on vacation, you're trying to like get as much in as possible. And I think when I first started planning everything, I had that in mind, but I burnt us out really quickly. And then halfway through that first 3 months we were gone, I literally had to revamp my entire way of thinking and redo the last month and a half of our
Yeah.
schedule and pull back on some of the stuff we were doing each day.
So
And so that was a challenge for
so
me.
the first stint we were gone for 3 months, and then that 3 months we did what, 14 countries?
13 countries
13.
in 3 months. That was crazy.
And that was
On 3 different continents.
Europe, Africa, and South America.
Oh, Asia.
Oh, Asia.
We went to India.
India. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so we went to India and then, like, double back to the UK. I mean, so that was crazy.
Yeah,
We were
yeah.
all over the place.
We were smoked
Yeah,
by
so
the
we
end of that.
4 countries or 4 continents in 4 months, like, that was
Mhm.
nuts.
Yeah,
It
and
was great.
I don't remember, I don't know what the breakdown was, but it was a different bed every 3 to 5 nights,
Sometimes less.
at that point, 2 maybe sometimes. It was too much, and, uh, as we move forward, the one thing we learned, going as we traveled through Europe, we did a lot, and in this, second half of the year through, on trains, and that was very challenging. I think
Oh,
for the
man.
type of luggage we had, trains are not the way to go. We had it was a learning experience again, but we had some, our carry on, a backpack, and a big check bag, and trying to train it around Europe was just really really difficult. You go like you'd have a good day, you maybe have a good day, but
We had a couple, but not a lot.
no, you miss
It
one
was so
train.
bad.
Yeah, you miss one train. The rest of your schedule for the rest of the day is really tough. Um, they turn into very long days, and it's challenging to find seats sometimes unless you have a pre-booked seat. And we learned a
I
lot.
mean, we missed a train coming back from Berchtesgaden in Germany back to Munich by 1 minute, and that forced us to stand out in the cold rain for, like, 2 hours, and then we got on the wrong train. It was like a international train, and we weren't supposed to be on it because the tickets we bought were for domestic trip for the Deutsche Bahn only, and we got on some sort of, and we were not the only people, so then they
No,
were coming around checking tickets, and we and several others got booted off that train at the next
they were
stop.
very nice about it. They said,
Very
"Oh,
sweet.
you're on the wrong train, but if you get
Yeah.
off this train, you can pick up the next train." Yeah, so we got off
So
that train, picked
back
up the
out
next
into the
train,
cold.
but that 1 minute out of Berchtesgaden,
Killed us.
killed us for. I mean, it made our it added 3 hours
Yeah,
to
yeah, it was
our to
brutal.
get back to Munich.
It was brutal. So, like, yeah, that was definitely a huge, huge challenge. Because like, we did our honeymoon in Switzerland. Swiss trains are like on the second. If you are 1 second late, you will miss the train type of thing. And you have like 2 minutes to get on the train once it's in the station and then it takes off. So if you're late at all, like you're gonna miss your train. That is not the case in the rest of Europe. I thought the rest of Europe would be like that, and it was not like that at all.
But
So we welcomed the rental cars. Once we stopped doing train life through Europe and we started doing rental cars, we found that doing rental cars in Europe is actually a really, really easy and probably for what we were traveling with, a much better way of getting around,
mhm,
I think.
yeah,
So, yeah, and that's good that you mentioned that because that kind of takes us into our biggest challenges. And I would say that doing trains in Europe was one of our biggest challenges for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. Another story. I mean, and it's not even it's the trains. Where we were in Bavaria, and we missed a bus was late, and we had a tight timeline to get to the train station, and we were 1 minute from missing that train. And I mean, you had to go down steps,
We had to go
under the
under.
tracks, up the other steps, and I'm throwing bags and rolling bags, and it's just really because then if we had missed that train, the rest of the day would have been
It would have been,
problematic.
yeah, it would have killed our day. So
So
that's kind of the lesson there. Like if you are traveling, like Europeans know how to do it because they're used to it. They all can't come with like a backpack and like a small carry-on size like rolling bag if they're traveling for a couple weeks. If you're doing that kind of life, like trains are no problem. But if you are like us Americans that are bringing like a big checked bag for their flights and bringing a bunch of stuff, trains are going to be really challenging for
yeah, I
you.
mean, a couple legs, but we did it for a couple of months, maybe a month and a half. Is that what we
It was
did?
about a month and a
Month and a
half.
half, and it was. I mean, there was. Well, I'll just give you one more for example. We were in leaving out of Croatia,
Hmm.
and we were heading out to Budapest, and it was supposed to be one leg, one train, on our seats, and go straight to Budapest. Nope. We got part the way there, and they stopped this train. They said, "Get off the train,"
Oh my gosh.
and we're like, "What? Why?"
We didn't even know where we were.
And it said, "This train stops. You get on the next train on the other side of the other side of the platform. Take that train." And we're like, "Okay." So we get on it. We still don't have any explanation, but that turned out to be correct. We get another part of the way, and they said, this train's not going any further. You got to get off this train. We're like, we have no idea what's going on. We don't know where we are. It's dark.
We're asking the guy and he's like, just go to this train. I'm like,
It
okay,
wasn't even that. They made us get off and get on a
on
bus.
a bus. So yeah.
And
And I'm
then
like, where is this
and
going?
we got on a bus. We drove for like half an hour. We got on another train, and that bus or that train took us to Budapest. And all in all,
Zagreb. It
I'm
was
sorry,
from Budapest to Zagreb.
it took us, yeah, so I got those in reverse, but yeah.
3 trains and a bus,
Yeah,
and
and
it was supposed to be 1 train.
yeah, it was, and we weren't getting any explanation as to why. It was just do this, do this, do
It
this,
was
and we're lugging all these bags around with us. It
chaotic.
was very stressful.
So, yeah, so that it was a huge challenge, and I will just add to the challenges is something we haven't really talked about yet, figuring out YouTube. I got news. Figuring out YouTube has been one of the biggest challenges I think
Yeah.
both of us have faced. We don't totally get the algorithm. We don't know why certain videos do really, really well and other videos don't do so well. We beg for comments from people because we're just like, we want help. Like, what did you like? What did you not like? Did you appreciate something about this video? Is there something that we missed when we went to this place? Like, let us know in the comments. And some videos get a lot of comments, which is great. And it has helped direct us in a lot of ways. But some videos, like we think we're like, yes, it's going to be awesome, and then it just doesn't perform, and we are left just absolutely speechless. Like we don't know why. And when we do our superlatives in just a little bit, you will see part of where that's coming from because our worst performing video is one that we thought would have been one of our best performing. And we'll
Yeah,
talk about
yeah.
that in a little bit. So, figuring out YouTube, definitely a massive, massive challenge for us this year. So, so what we enjoyed most? What did you enjoy most out of this last 16 months of full-time travel?
Like specifically
Whatever, specifically,
Africa.
overall. Okay.
I'm getting very specific, and I love 2 of the adventures, or 3 of the adventures we did, and it all surrounds Tanzania and Zimbabwe.
Okay.
And it was being in Africa is something I will never, ever forget.
Yeah.
It is so different than here in the sense of
Anywhere.
we never see any real wildlife. Like here in the backyard, we have deer, and it's common stuff. But there, it's wild. It's wild kingdom. I mean, it is legit.
Oh, like when
Every
we were driving to Kilimanjaro and we saw the giraffe at the base of
You can be
Kilimanjaro.
you
I'm
can be
like,
driving
this is
just
like
through
out of a
anywhere. Yeah,
movie.
it's unbelievable. We were on a dirt road going to on our safari, and you come around a corner, there's an elephant. Just he was walking up the road, and he walked off the side of the road, and he just turned around, looked at us, and let us pass. And then there's other times where we're walking and go around the corner, and there's a whole herd of giraffe running across the road, or herds of lions. I mean, it's just unbelievable. So the animal aspect in Africa, it is truly wild because you can be walking through town like we were in Zimbabwe, and there at night we were coming back from a restaurant, and there's 2 hippos on the side of the road, down in the trees, and we're like, oh, they're extremely dangerous. Um, just just those interactions. Our whitewater rafting trip on the Zambezi
Oh,
River was
yeah, that was epic.
unbelievable. It
That was
was
epic.
epic.
If you haven't seen that video yet, I highly recommend watching it. It was one of our earlier videos, so it may not have been our best performer, but like it was by far one of the my most favorite videos that we've made so
And, and
far.
like
Like it
all
was
and
awesome.
like all filming, you don't get a sense of the scale.
Nuts.
Like when you're skiing down big steep mountains, you can't see how steep it really is unless you're the perfect angle. But and the same thing, the waves in the river are massive. I mean,
Yeah, those
class
rapids were
fives are
huge.
huge, and then
It was exhilarating though. That was like one of the best experiences
yeah, and
of our lives.
of course, summiting Kilimanjaro a couple months ago
Yeah.
is just
It's a good birthday present for me. The fact that I made it to the top and
yeah.
made it back off the mountain
So
on my own.
yeah, so for me, you know, there are other places that are spectacular. Of course, we do everything. We try to make sure everything is booked, or that we do something epic in every location, or something that's really amazing. But for me, generally speaking, Africa was the best.
Yeah. I'm gonna go on like a more generalized, point of view. For me, like I just feel like the fact that we've gotten to see as much as we have in this last 16 months, like you put everything together that, I've seen in my life, like leading up to now, and what I'd probably be able to see if I was still working as a nurse full time and just doing 2 weeks of vacation every year. Like, we would never have gotten the opportunity to do half the things that we've done in this last 16 months. So, just like looking at it on like a grand scale, like I just think that what we've gotten to see and do and the places that we visited, and honestly places I never thought I'd ever get to see. Like I just kind of
Yeah.
assumed like I was kind of writing certain places off, like I'll never make it there. And we took a massive, massive gamble in our lives, and I feel like no matter what happens, I feel like it's paid off because, like, I can look back no matter what happens and know that, like, I got to take a hot air balloon over Cappadocia, and I
Mm.
got to do a safari in the Serengeti, and I got to summit Kilimanjaro, and I got to walk on the Bolivian salt flats and, go see fall colors in New England, and just the things that I've always dreamed of doing. And I just kind of, like I said, have resolved myself to the fact that it wasn't maybe going to happen, like going into the Great Pyramid of Giza. Like, I just never thought that would ever happen, and it has. And so, like, I'm just beyond grateful. Like, even with our pitfalls this year, like, to be able to have those experiences and to know that, 16 months of our lives have culminated in this, like, massive journey and adventure that we've gotten to take
Yeah,
together, and, like, getting to do it together.
yeah,
To me, it's been the most special 16 months of my life,
yeah,
and I'll
I
never
agree.
ever forget it,
I
no
agree.
matter what.
Yeah.
All right, so last question. Biggest surprises. What were your biggest surprises? Like, we've talked about this a little bit in terms of, like, places that we've gone.
Biggest surprises. Vietnam for me was a huge, huge surprise.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect. I'd watched a bunch of videos, and everybody that had been there and gone there and loved it, and I just had reservations. I didn't know, I just didn't know. And it turned out to be one of the most spectacular places we'd ever been.
And the people.
Mm.
We psychotically love the Vietnamese people. They were so good to us. I mean, even when we were leaving Ho Chi Minh City, they gave us a gift, like, gave us a parting gift and told us to hang it in our room for good luck and prosperity and stuff like that. I'm like, I've never been met with that kind of kindness and warmth from people, like, leaving a hotel in my life, and just everybody made us feel like we were at home. And it's just one of those places. It actually wasn't on our original itinerary for this past year, and we decided to add it as kind of like a last minute deal. And I am so glad we did because, yeah, that was definitely one. It's one of my favorite places that we've been
Yeah,
so
because
far.
what we always try to do wherever we are, we always try to be as nice as possible. Even when we're tired or whatever, we always try to say,
Be pleasant,
good morning,
smile.
how are you? Just basic things that we grew up being common courtesy for us.
Yeah.
And we one of the couple of the front people at the front desk, one of our hotels in Ho Chi Minh City goes, just it was a really sweet comment. Says, I wish all our guests were like you guys. You are so sweet and nice all the time. And so it's those hearing those wonderful things from those people are just really great. And I can't wait. Hopefully, one day we'll go back to Vietnam because
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
really
we love
amazing.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, and there was so much that we wanted to do that we just, in 2 weeks, we didn't have time for. So, like, we'll definitely be making a trip back there in the future.
and back to your comment, you said, what we've experienced in this last 16 months. We kind of figured out in normal vacation years or time within the United States that Americans have 2 weeks a year, kind of thing, maybe 3 weeks, or if you're lucky, more than that. It would take us, I don't know, 25, 30 years to do what we did,
Mhm.
and I'm never gonna take that for granted because we could sit here for hours and talk about what we experienced in this just past 16 months of some epic things. We to 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 build on that, we sailed directly over the Titanic a couple of days after its
Oh,
official sinking,
yeah, that was cool.
and
We
they
didn't
had
know
a
that they were gonna do
and
that.
had a ceremony, and to remember that occasion and that tragedy. And crawling through the tunnels back to Vietnam, crawling through tunnels into Vietnam during just outside of Ho Chi Minh City that were involved in the war, and to be in those tunnels and having grown up learning about the history of all that and the movies that had taken place, and it's surreal. It's incredibly surreal, and being in the oldest, crawling through one of the oldest pyramids on the planet, the Step Pyramid.
Oh, that was so cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, like, we knew the pyramids on the Giza Plateau were gonna be incredible, but we did not even think about the step pyramid. And when we went into it, it was really incredible. I mean, it was such a cool experience,
I, thi-
and it's just as interesting and imposing as the pyramids of Giza. So, yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
it's
and
1,000 years older than
it
close
is.
to 1,000 years older than the Great Pyramids.
So, yeah, I mean, so that kind of takes me to like, my biggest surprises. There were a couple of places that kind of stood out as like big surprising countries to me. Egypt was one of them. I knew I would love the history of Egypt, but I loved Egypt in general. The food was
It's
delicious. The
amazing.
people were awesome, hilarious too. I'll never forget on that Nile cruise, these guys throwing stuff up on top of our boat, trying to get people to buy stuff from the boat. And like literally they're on either the sidewalk or they're on their own boats throwing stuff up to us. So it was one of the funniest experiences
It's
ever.
yeah, it's part of the experience. You know, they come up with their boat full of their goods and they throw a rope on the side of your cruise boat, your river cruise boat, and they get dragged, and they sit there and want to exchange money for their whatever they're selling.
It's hysterical.
And but
You
then
you kinda get that in Vietnam too.
yeah,
We did that cruise on Ha Long Bay, and they
yeah,
would come up to the
yeah.
boat and try to sell you, like,
I
beer
got a
and
beer.
yeah, we
Yeah.
get
I
some
got a couple
beers
beers.
because 'cause they were cheaper from them, from the
Yeah,
locals than they would have been on the boat, so we got some beers, and they
that
had
was funny.
snacks and all kinds of stuff. It was great.
Yep.
Yeah, so, Egypt was a huge, huge surprise. Turkey was honestly a big surprise as well. And to me, I think India too. I
Yeah.
think India was a really, I loved India. I found the Indian people to be so endearing. Everybody wanted to take pictures with us. We had to build an extra hour everywhere we went just to get photos of people. We were at the Taj Mahal and I felt like I was a bigger attraction than the Taj,
Yeah.
which is just crazy considering it's a wonder of the world. And I'm like, but here I am with my blonde hair and my really light skin. And like, so I just stood out like we stood out like a sore thumb. And everybody wanted to get pictures with us. It was the sweetest thing
Yeah, whole
ever.
families stopping us to take pictures, when
Yeah.
we were in Delhi at the Red Fort. We didn't know what was going on. We thought they wanted us to take pictures of them, and they're like, "No, no,
Like,
no, 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 here," and they would like they all kind of m grabbed us and brought us into this pictures, and we started taking and that just where it started, and we're like, we didn't know it was and so 45 minutes, an hour later, we managed to get into the Red Fort after all that. It was really, really fun and
but it happened everywhere
interesting.
we went.
Yeah, it did.
Everywhere we went. Didn't matter. It
Yeah,
was just the funniest thing ever. So, those are some like standout countries. Like, you kind of always like assume that places in Europe are going to be incredible, but I found some of my favorite experiences happened outside of the Western world.
yes.
So I can't do oh, and Tanzania, just in general. I love Tanzania. We loved it so much we went back a second time within a year because it was just so incredible. The things that we got to do there were just like out of this world. I mean, like once in a lifetime bucket list experiences. But again, the Tanzanian people were just incredible to us. We felt so welcome and the food was delicious and we always felt so well cared for. Like it was just one of those places that it is my favorite country in Africa. I haven't been to all the countries in Africa yet, but out of the places we've been so far, Tanzania is definitely top of my list. And if you're going to go to one place in Africa, I think Tanzania should be that place. Like
There's so
it's
much to see.
so much to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was awesome.
And if you go in the right time of the year, it's not blistering hot,
No,
so
I mean, and we went during their so our summer is their winter, right? I mean, they're close to the equator, so it's not like a huge, huge swing, but like it was very comfortable. It's like slightly warm during the day and it gets nice and cool at night, but it's not blisteringly hot. So like our summertime is really the perfect time to go there because it's winter for them. So and it's a comfortable winter. All right, so time to crunch some numbers. We had some really big numbers in 2024 and 2025 combined. So, starting with the number of countries visited, 32 countries in 16 months. Actually, technically 33 if you want to count the US, which we
yeah,
should because
yeah.
it's a country. So, 33 countries in 16 months, I think
How
is
many states?
insane. Four new states
Yeah,
and two states that we've repeated visits to.
yeah. But those won't
Three states that we repeated visits
yeah,
to.
yeah,
So really, really cool. So the new states up in New England and then even out west too, because we did Nevada together and we went to Vegas.
right.
So yeah, so a lot. We did a lot of ground in a very short period of time. And no wonder we were so tired,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
seriously exhausted. Um, Flights taken, 58, which I think is a really big number
I did
for that
not
period of
I
time.
did not think it was that many.
I didn't either. 58 flights. And how many of those were red eyes that were like, you know, 8 to 15 hours long? more than I could count. Like
Yeah.
a big number of those were really, really big flights. Like, I mean, the longest that we've done so far was coming back from Vietnam. It was the last leg. It was from Doha back to Atlanta, which is where we're from. 15 hours for that flight,
Yeah.
just that leg of the flight. It was exhausting. So that was a surprising number. Here's a shocker. Beds slept in, 98.
Oh,
We did 41 beds in 2024 in 4 months, which is insane. And 57 beds in 2025. And I swear our only saving grace was because we did that transatlantic cruise for 3 weeks. So we were in the same bed for 21 days with that. We were also in the same bed for the 10 days up in New England doing van life, in the same bed on that RV when we did the parks in out west
that's
that you
nice.
guys haven't seen yet because we haven't made that video. But spoiler alert, we went out west and did the parks and we did RV life. So yeah, 57 beds in 2025, 41 in 24 for 4 months. That's crazy. I think I was trying to kill us at that point. And here's the most shocking number of all. And if you've dropped off, you're going to miss out on the thing that I think you should have stuck around for. 104,708. That is the number of miles traveled. Over 104,000 miles traveled.
That's 4 times around the planet.
That is crazy. We are crazy people.
Yeah.
And and that's in 16 months. And that's with us sticking around at home for the last few months and kind of traveling in our own backyard, like not even going super, super far. That is crazy.
That's crazy.
When I crunched that number, I about had a heart attack. I was
Yeah.
like, wow, that's some good mileage right there.
I'll give you a number.
Hmm.
Since we started, between long form and short form videos, we've had over 1 million views.
Heck yeah. That is a huge win too,
Yeah,
because it is not easy to get people to want to watch your videos. So I'm really, really proud of you and the work that you've done to put these videos together and to showcase what we've done on all these places that we've been. Like, you've done such a great job with that.
Yeah. You kind of look back at the other stuff when we first started, and you cringe. You're like, "Ooh," we're still learning,
Yeah,
and we're
we
still
didn't
learning.
know what
We're
we were
still
doing.
learning. We still don't have. We're doing this all ourselves. We don't have any professional editors, obviously.
No.
So we're doing the best we can, and we're going to continue to try to keep better and better, and do better for you guys, and you know, showcase where we are as best we can, and show that have great stories and tell the stories the best we can. So we're doing the best we can.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All righty. So I like the idea of doing end of the year superlatives, just kind of like, your, high school yearbook. You do your superlatives. And I think that this is the perfect time to kind of talk about some of our favorites and maybe some of our not so favorites. So, first off, favorite activity. Whiteboard.
Mm.
Favorite activity. We are not discussing these with each other either. So, like, I've been thinking about it. He's been thinking about it. Let's see if they match up. You ready?
Yep.
Show. I'm shocked. I'm shocked that he didn't pick summiting Kilimanjaro. The safari is really high on my list too, but summiting Kili, man, that's just like, I felt so accomplished after that. Like
I mean,
it was also the hardest thing that we did.
that's the part of it. I mean, that last day almost killed me, but so I mean, but as far as, I don't know if that's one of our superlatives, but it was definitely my greatest accomplishment.
Yeah.
But I think the safari with the animals has got my vote.
Okay. All right. I respect that. All right. Best accommodations.
Ooh.
I know it's hard.
I don't know how to spell it.
It's okay. Oh, that's a close second for me. I picked the transatlantic cruise.
It says Jaipur. I'm sorry about that.
It is Jaipur. Jaipur. Okay, so we stayed in a 5-star hotel in Jaipur for like $70 a night, and that included breakfast. It was insane, and
It
the
was awesome.
breakfast was unbelievably good. The food was delicious. It was so gorgeous, and they literally welcomed us by, like, throwing flower petals on us when we
Right?
entered, and they had music, traditional Indian music playing, and, they gave us, like, welcome drinks and, I mean, all kinds of stuff, like, so Jaipur to me is a very, very like, in terms of, like, the stationary places that wasn't moving, um, Jaipur was definitely top of my list too, but I loved the transatlantic cruise because we spent 21 days on that boat. We had everything taken care of for us, and I didn't have to worry about making a bed, putting stuff away, what I'm going to eat, packing up and moving stuff every few days. Like, it was delightful. So to me, that was like, I couldn't beat that.
Okay.
All right.
Next.
Best transportation. Like, and that can be flights, cars, boats, buses. I don't think the buses are going to make the cut,
This is
but
not gonna cut.
let's see.
I don't know about this. But we're gonna go with it anyway. Can't look.
Okay.
Ready?
What is it? The cruise, yeah. Okay, so totally have to agree with the cruise. Our flight from Scotland was like the easiest flight we've ever taken. It was a direct from Edinburgh back home to Atlanta. Everything went perfectly. I
Yeah.
mean, it was the easiest travel experience by plane that we have had to date. And so it just really stood out to me as being like, I mean, it was so easy. They were so easy at the airport. The flight was perfect. I mean, it was just, I don't know, from start to finish, it was just one of the easiest travel experiences we had. And I think someone up above knew that we needed an easy travel day because we had been through so much. We were away from home for 5 months at that
Yeah.
point. So having an easy trip back home was like, couldn't beat that.
Right.
All right. So here's a really tough one. Favorite city.
Hmm.
This is really hard as well. Sorry, this is just taking a while because it's a really long name. Do
Okay.
it. Yep. Budapest. Oh, that's a great one. I went with this.
Rottenburg.
I
Oh,
went with
wow.
Rottenburg to Obertower. Okay, so tiny, tiny little Bavarian town that is the inspiration for the movie Pinocchio. It is the cutest place I've ever seen in my entire life. It's this beautiful medieval town that almost got wiped out in World War II. They saved it. And
Mhm.
I mean, everything about that town is literally like being in a fairy tale. So for me, I love fairy tales. I couldn't help it. Rottenburg just stood
Yeah.
out so much.
For me, Budapest was just absolutely stunning. It's on, of course, on the river. It's lit up at night is absolutely stunning, and then the city is really amazing, easily to walk around. Tons of restaurants, a lot of activity, really a lot of history. It's a beautiful, beautiful city. I loved Budapest.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Budapest was awesome in terms of major cities we visited.
Yeah,
It's top 5 on my list as
yeah.
well, easily. I would go back to Budapest 100 times. I loved, loved it.
Love Rottenburg.
Yeah, Rottenburg was so special.
We stayed in a hotel there that was built in the like I think the 1100s.
It was into the city
The
walls.
walls.
So it was so cool. If you're interested in what that city was, either go back and watch that video or you can drop that question in the comment section. We'll let you know what that hotel was. It was so awesome. And they took really good care of us there
Yeah.
too. They were so sweet. This little old man, his family had owned it for like over 100 years. And
Yeah.
yeah, it was awesome. All right. So most meaningful place that we've been to.
Oh,
Country, city,
meaningful.
whatever. Yeah, most meaningful. I had to add this one because
You said country or city?
country or city, either way, most meaningful. This was an easy one for me.
Mhm.
Poland. Oh,
Krakow.
Poland. The video that you guys may never get to see because that's where we lost all the footage.
Yep.
It's
We
the
did.
the file got deleted or something,
Yep.
and we have to see if Darren can get his computer looked at some point.
It's not one of our videos. I plan on doing some shorts, but from Krakow, we visited Auschwitz.
Yes, and that was crazy.
and that was
That was
something I will
crazy.
never forget.
No, I
Unbelievable.
like sad but powerful, meaningful. It's one of those things, like, if you're in Poland, if you go to Krakow, like, you have to do it. You have to do the day trip out there. It's 100% worth it. It's also extremely, extremely popular. Tons and tons of people from around the world, every age group are visiting, go to visit, and so you have to get your tickets well in advance. We almost didn't get a ticket. We met a little couple that had given us that warning when we were in Warsaw, and so I went on immediately to look, and they were right. The tickets were almost sold out. So if you decide to do something like that, get your tickets well in advance because it's very easy to miss out.
Yep.
All right. So um best food.
Hmm.
We matched. India, man. India has got the best food on the planet. Darren doesn't even like spicy stuff, but he loves the Indian food. And we're so obsessed that everywhere we go now, we go to try to find the best Indian restaurant in that
Yeah,
city.
we
It's
do,
hilarious.
and we've been disappointed a couple places. I
Yeah,
think I hate to say it, but some of the Indian restaurants we had in was it Scotland,
Ireland.
Ireland,
We're very
we're
different,
different.
very
But
different
then use
than
different.
anywhere
They
else.
just have different spices. Whatever they do, even though they're Indian owned, Indian run, their
Hmm.
spices are different than India.
Yeah, yeah,
It's just different.
yeah. All right. Most challenging country to get around or most challenging place to get around could be because of the language, the transportation, any of that stuff. What's the most challenging place we've been? Matched again. Bolivia is tough, man. It is a beautiful country. It has so, so much to offer, but the amount of people that speak English in Bolivia is negligible. Literally, when you look it up, it says negligible. So very few people speak English. So if you don't speak Spanish, it will be a challenge for you. Not to mention the terrain is really rugged, and so like you really do need to do like organized tours to get around. Getting
Yes.
your own car to try to do the main stuff out there is just not a wise
Yeah,
choice.
and if you go out towards the Andes, you've got to be prepared for the elevation.
It's tough. It's
It is
really
really
tough.
brutal.
Really,
Everything, the
really
salt
tough.
flats, you can go back and watch a video, but you can put your car on cruise control and drive for an hour with your eyes closed, and you'll never get to the other side of
It's
it. And
incredible.
it's at 12,000 feet.
It's incredible. And we highly recommend doing it. That is one of our worst videos to date. And
Yep.
it makes me so sad because it was one of the coolest experiences we've had. But, it is one of those things you do have to be prepared because, yeah, you need a tour and you need some altitude sickness meds,
Yep.
especially if you're coming from sea level like us.
Yes.
All right, last couple questions. Favorite city, country, people, like favorite all around, would you say?
Mm, okay.
Mm-hmm. See if we match again.
Handwriting's so bad. Ready? Not
I
looking.
am. That's a close second for me. We psychotically loved Ireland. Ireland is one of my absolute favorite places that we've been so far. We
But
are doing the videos
but
right now.
Vietnam is right there. Right
Vietnam,
there.
yeah, Vietnam and Ireland. I think if I'm gonna tie anything, it's gonna be Vietnam and Ireland.
Yeah.
Ireland is stunning. The cities are incredible. There is so much to do. The people are the coolest people in all of Europe that you will ever meet. They are some of the sweetest people on the planet.
Yeah.
We are going back to Ireland. I'm not sure when, sooner rather than later, but we are going back to Ireland because we were just shy of 3 weeks there. And to me, it just like wasn't enough. Like I could be there for months and
Yeah.
never get bored.
Yeah.
We love it. Love Ireland, but Vietnam, the Vietnamese people, I fell in love with them.
Yeah.
And honestly, the food was delicious. The country is beautiful. We went to the north, middle, and south, and like each part is so unique and different. And I think that that's what I really, really loved about it and why it stood out so much for me. And
Yeah.
not to mention, it's extremely affordable. So if you're looking for a more budgeted travel place outside of the flights and stuff, which you can still find like an affordable flight, like it is one of the most affordable places to
Yeah.
travel to.
You can have breakfast. The two of us could have breakfast, lunch, and dinner for $15
But yeah,
total
total. Yeah.
for the day.
So just incredible, incredible. All right. And so, best video. What was our best video?
Mm, like in terms of numbers?
Yeah,
Okay, that's easy because I know.
you do know. And I know too. So, the one that had our experience with the elephant in India, that is our best video to date. We have done some really good videos since then, but Padma in India has just absolutely crushed it. I don't know if people loved seeing the thumbnail with me with her on that walk, or if it was just a really awesome video. But I think it was an awesome video, and it was also intriguing. And
Yep,
I mean, it was one of my favorite videos to make too, because spending the day with that elephant was like one of the coolest things that I've
she's
ever gotten to
awesome.
do. She was so sweet. And we loved it so much that when we went to Thailand, we decided to do another elephant experience. We're doing all ethical elephant experiences. These are places that they've rescued elephants. Like Padma had been a work elephant in Agra, and they rescued her, and they were giving her a chance at a life where she was just free to roam and not
Hmm.
have to do any work or do anything and just enjoy the rest of her life.
Yep.
So supporting a business and an experience like that was 100% one of the most amazing things we've done.
Yes.
All right. So our worst video. You guys are going to be shocked by this because I'm shocked by it. Like I thought this was going to be one of our best videos when I planned this experience and this journey. I thought this was going to be like
I'll be
slam
I'll,
dunk.
I'll be more specific about that one. Yeah, but it's the whale watching portion of our few videos we had in South Africa.
And also one of the best experiences that we had in 2024 and to date.
I
Like
know.
we got to have like, southern right whales, moms and babies swim alongside our boat, like, multiple. And then like a baby southern right whale like bumped our boat. Like it was the coolest thing
And rocked our
ever.
boat.
It,
And to give
yeah.
you some context, the southern right whale is twice as big as the humpbacks, and they are huge animals
Yeah.
and the mother dwarfed our boat.
Oh yeah.
And
I mean, but they were like so sweet.
just one of those lines out of the movie Jaws. I think we're going to need a bigger boat.
But I mean, it was such an incredible experience. We absolutely loved it. When we went to Alaska, one of the first trips we ever did together as a couple, we did not do a whale watching experience and we quickly regretted it. And so when we went to South Africa, that was one of the things that we made sure we were going to do. And that's still one of my favorite things that we've ever done. Like
Yes.
top 5 experiences of what we've done so far. So, and that's saying a lot considering what we've done.
Yeah.
All right, and the last superlative, favorite country. This is the one that everybody asks us about, but I mean, if I'm just like throwing it out there to you and you have to say one place, what are you going to say? I know.
Favorite country.
I know. If you could just choose one, I mean, I know it's really tough and people ask us all the time. So I'm going to give you guys an answer, at least for now. This is my answer. It could change. Who knows? But for right now, this is my answer. Do you have anything? Come up with something.
I don't have one.
You don't have
I don't have one. Oh, nice. Nice.
Ireland. I have wanted to go to Ireland since I could speak. Like since I started talking. I don't know why, but I had this vision in my mind of how it was going to be there. And Ireland did not disappoint. Everything was exactly as you would hope it would be.
Mm-hmm.
And then some. We had so much fun going to different pubs, listening to traditional music, meeting the locals, checking out medieval towns, going to castles, going to see the last place the Titanic touched ground on when before it made its journey across the Atlantic and stuff. Like, just things that it's just such a special place for this tiny little island. So Ireland blew me away and went above and beyond my expectations. And if I had to just choose one, at the moment I'd have to say Ireland just as the standout for me.
Okay. All right. I just have so many.
I know it's
I
hard
don't
to
know.
choose. We loved everywhere we've been. I don't think there's been one place that we were like,
Yeah, there's a
not
couple
in
places
love
that we
with.
went that I would. Oh, I guess it might be one of the final questions. What do
What's
we?
that?
What was our least favorite?
Okay, go for it. Least favorite country or city?
I hate to do these.
That's why I chose not to. I only put like 1 or 2 in that's like not our favorites.
And I don't know, maybe we shouldn't do that.
Keep it to yourself.
All right, we'll keep those for ourselves.
Honestly, every single place that we went was extremely special, and I would literally go back to I think I'd go back to every single country that we've been to.
For sure. Not
Um,
every city, but
Not every
every
city.
country.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
some places really are kind of like a one and done.
Yep.
But some places like Krakow and Gdansk in Poland, those are not one and dones for us. Rottenburg in Germany is not a one and done. Even Munich, we talked about we would love to go and do Christmas markets in all of those places.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Christmas markets are a little dicey right now in Europe, so we didn't do that this year. But in the future, if it gets a little safer, those are going to be high on our list of what we're going to do.
Now we're gonna highlight 2026.
Yeah. So just to kind of wrap things up here, um, what are we changing in year two? Well, we're slowing things down. We are not going to do 32 countries in year two. I'm sorry to say, like
I'm not.
we we did so much that I feel really confident in pulling us back a little bit. We're actually going to be spending a little bit more time on our home turf and doing some really cool things here in the United States. I am very excited about all the stuff we have planned for our country.
Yeah, and we'll give you one of those adventures is gonna be a RV life on the Pacific Coast Highway.
I'm so excited. We're going to do the PCH,
Yep.
which to me has been like a major bucket list item for forever. It is such a beautiful part of our country. The coastline out there is insane. And so we're going to be doing California, Oregon, and Washington State, basically sticking to the coastal areas, and maybe throwing a couple national parks in there here and
Mhm.
there.
Yep.
Staying away from major cities for the most part, because that's not the point of this excursion. And but I'm excited. We're going to be doing 4 weeks of RV life on the PCH. So that's coming up this spring, and the video will drop, hopefully by the summer at
Yeah.
some point.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome though. So we're going to be slowing things down, but still doing some really incredible travel experiences in our country and outside of our country.
Mhm.
So yeah, we're going to be doing outside of some stuff here. We're also going to be hitting up Europe again, Asia again, and South America again. Don't really want to spoil the surprise because we have some really epic things planned for each of those places.
Some might be the same, some might be different.
That's right. So you'll just have to stay tuned to our upcoming videos
But
to know what that is.
all of 2026 is already scheduled and
It's all
booked.
planned.
Yep.
All planned,
All
all
planned out.
booked. I feel better already just knowing that because I do a lot of this stuff on the fly, and most of all of 2024 was on the fly. Most of 2025 was as well. So knowing what our whole calendar looks like for this entire year, like huge relief to me.
Yeah.
Because this year we're also adding some things that we didn't do in the past. Like our first year of YouTubing and traveling full time, we really wanted to just get a feel of like making sure we knew how to plan things and figuring out the editing process and trying to figure out the algorithm and figuring out how to, give ourselves a life and stuff like that. And so now that we've kind of gotten into that groove, we are going to be adding some things. So first of all, we did start a Patreon.
Patreon. Yep.
So
There's a link in the description if you're interested.
we would love for you to join our Patreon. Help support us, help support our channel and our upcoming adventures and everything. There are different levels of membership. So, if you go on there, you can check and see what the different levels are. But, anything definitely helps. And we really appreciate your support. So that's one of the things that we're doing. We're also going to be trying to come up with some travel guides later on this year. And we're going to be doing collab opportunities with hopefully some of our favorite travel brands. So that's some stuff that we're going to be focusing on this year. Because travel's not cheap, so we got to figure out a way to pay the bills.
Yep.
So these are some things that we're going to be doing to hopefully further those efforts.
Yep.
So yeah, our goal for this year is to have maybe for me my goal for this year is to have a nice slower pace so we can have a little more balance with ourselves and with our families and friends and stuff like that, but still add some really epic places to our travel list.
They're going to be epic.
Yes, they are. So we have probably about 10 new countries that we're going to be going to, and a whole bunch of new states, and some really, really cool experiences along the way. So I think it's going to be an awesome year.
Yep. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay.
So thank you guys so much for joining and letting us recap our 2024 and 2025 for you. Moving forward into the future, it's just going to be that year. So, 2026 will just be 2026. But
Yeah, and well, next time we'll obviously like this time we'll let you know when we go live again. Hopefully, we'll be somewhere else in the world. We'll do another live broadcast, and hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoy this kind of thing because we like doing this kind of thing.
yeah, we want to get to know you all better. So make sure that you drop us some comments. Let us know that you came today, and if you have any questions or anything that you'd like to see us do in this next year, let us know because we take all of that into consideration. And just because we have things on the books doesn't mean that we can't make some adjustments. So we'd love to hear what you guys think, and we can't wait to see you next week. We have our next full length or long form video coming out,
The
right?
11th.
Right. That's next week.
Is that when? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. January 11th is when it starts back. All of our videos start back regularly, full length videos every week.
That's right. So we look forward to seeing you for next week's video, which I think is going to be a crowd pleaser because it was a really fun one to do.
Yeah. All right. See you next time.
Bye, guys. Have a
Bye.
great day.